Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Nadia. Today I'm going to be painting a little picture, so I hope you open your sketchbook, grab some paints, whatever, some tea, something cozy, anything to just kind of be with me through this video. Today I am painting kind of a reconceptualization of an old painting that I've done before. It's not the same. It looks pretty different, but it kind of stems from the same idea. And the idea behind this painting and its, predecessor is, to put it simply, the idea of change. I decided to have this be my first video for the year because, kind of going with that new year, new me concept, I figured a little conversation about change could be a good foot to start the year on. I always think of the new year as a chance for reflection and continued growth and change. I mean, New Year's resolutions can be really silly. I tend to like doing them, though. Not necessarily as resolutions, but kind of setting goals for myself for the year. Who do I want to be this year? How do I want to, grow this year? How do I want to get closer to my goals? I don't know, it kind of, helps me set a roadmap for the year that I'm pretty good at sticking with. I also don't think that mentality has to happen on when the clock strikes midnight. I think that checking in with yourself several times a year to ask those same questions of how is this year going versus how do I want it to be going, and what changes can I make in my life, my routines, my everything to just get closer to those goals. I think there's a lot of value in doing that, but I also see why actually just New Year's resolutions are kind of campy and silly for some people. So what I'm doing for this painting is I'm using a limited color palette. You can see that I just have purple and yellow up in the corner over there, and those are the only two colors that I'm using for the full painting. And basically, so there's this central figure and the two figures on either side of them. One is going to be purple, the other one is going to be yellow, and the one in the middle is made up of the two colors. The inspiration for this piece is kind of, on a personal level, thinking about the passage of time and how I have changed over time. I think in the past that change felt very scary to look at older versions of myself and feel a little disconnected from them. The first version of this painting I did in 2018, I think, and at that time it was very centered around that feeling of fear. So the original version was kind of a self-portrait, but my skin was shedding like a snake, basically, and it kind of felt like change could feel like older versions of myself just kind of ceasing to exist. The idea for this painting came about when I realized that I no longer felt that way, that it's not that as you grow and get stronger and overcome obstacles, the parts of you that were going through it don't cease to exist. They are the things that make up who you are today. So in this painting, for example, the main figure is not purple or orange, or yellow. She's both, because those are the experiences that allowed her to be this version of herself. They're not separate from her, they are a part of her. I also work professionally with a lot of trauma survivors, and I think that concept of change is something that has come up a lot in different sessions too. I think that survivors of trauma, often you hit a point where you realize hang on, I'm not as connected to my traumas as I used to be. And how do I process this now? How do I process this realization? For some people, it can feel incredibly freeing and empowering. For me, it felt very scary. And both are normal reactions. I'm recently coming to a place where that separation, that distance in time, doesn't feel as scary. And that's what I was trying to convey with this painting. I originally wanted the 3 heads to kind of look more like they were coming from the same body, almost like a hydra. It didn't end up looking like that. It kind of looks like they're peeking out from behind her. I don't hate that. I think that it has its own benefits because it's like they're in the past, but they're like peering forward to check in on you, I guess. But my original intention was to have like almost a Hydra-like image. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the hair, and at this point, since the like bodies didn't come out how I was intending, I decided that could be a fun opportunity to like have their hair all connected and have it like cascading between all 3 different colors, like very interchangeably. And I'm really happy with how it worked out. Also, in general, I'm trying to use more white space in my paintings. I think that sometimes I feel pressured to just cover the whole piece of paper, no matter like what. And I think that with watercolor in particular, since it's so transparent, like there's so much value in leaving white space because white is like another color in your toolbox. Like leaving something white doesn't mean that I mean, in some cases, like on their cheeks, it works as a highlight, but also for the background, you know, I felt like anything in the background would distract from the image that I was trying to convey with the 3 heads. Particularly once I decided to make the hair a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more messy, I just kind of decided that to avoid like losing contrast and to avoid like needing to add a different color to achieve that contrast, I thought that the best plan of action was to just like take advantage of the white space. Here is the final product. I really like how it came out. It was a fun little activity, so thank you so much for watching with me, and I'll see you in the next one.